Okay, welcome back to episode, God, I'm losing track, 7. Episode 7 of what I like to refer to as The Show. It's the Karl Zahn Show. You may have noticed already I'm joined in studio this week with another guest, old friend of mine, brilliant stand-up comedian, Frank Santorelli. Frank. Was that crowd noise?
That's the crowd noise.
So, very nice of Frank to come up and join me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
We're both, turns out, 66 years old.
Can you imagine?
I injured myself earlier today trying to refill a bird feeder at my house, and I fell and impaled my hand here.
Impaled.
Yeah,
is the key word.
And
impaled.
Frank is on a cane today.
I tore my knee apart falling asleep in front of the television set with my leg up like this, crossed over. I woke up and my knee had come out of socket. I put it back in just through grit and determination.
After you woke up? Or
yeah, right. I went, I screamed.
So this is what it comes to. Getting older, I mean, you're not even safe falling asleep on the couch. I think that's the moral, right?
Falling asleep. I hurt myself.
Savor every moment of life, right, Frank?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Now I got a cane. Oh, shit.
Look at that. I mean, this guy... Why don't you just go ahead and take the call?
I think it's one of my daughters calling me. I swear to God.
Yeah, go ahead and take the call.
It is. It's my daughter, Anne-Marie.
Let's just let this roll. I think this is perfect.
Hi, Mia. Hey, I'm on a TV show right now. I can't really talk.
It's not an important show, though, Mia.
It's kind of a cool show. It's like a podcast, module cast, all kinds of cool names.
Module cast.
Yeah. I'll call you back. Okay. Bye. Thanks.
That
was my daughter, Mia.
I like a man who takes a phone call from his daughter, no matter what the circumstances are. I can relate to that. I have 4 sons and 1 daughter, and if she called right now,
You'd have to.
I'd knock you over if I had to. I would take the call.
I would knock you down.
So before we talk about comedy and old times and all that. So Frank and I are both of Italian heritage, so we have that old food eating disorder thing in common. But for those of you who think that Frank looks vaguely familiar, yes, he may have been that guy behind you at the park, but more likely you saw him as Georgie the Bartender in the incredible TV series, The Sopranos.
Yes.
So, I know you probably get asked that a lot, but let's talk a little bit about how you fell into that role, first of all.
Yeah. My manager said to me, they're looking for a bartender / bouncer kind of guy on this show called The Sopranos. I said, okay. And I went to the audition. And it was literally the scene where I get hit with the phone. Hello, hello. I'm going like this. Hello, hello, hello. I swear to God, it was like 15 hellos.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah,
hello,
I've seen that scene probably
I'm pushing the button.
Times.
And I look over at Gandolfini and I go, it's a freaking menu. Hello, hello, hello. And he's got scotch in a glass, and he's looking. And I'm getting him angry by doing that. By going, hello, hello, hello. Is this an answering machine? Or I'm going, hello, hello. Right. And I can't work that thing. And he gets mad and hits me over the head with the phone.
And that was the audition.
That was the audition, was just the hellos, 15, 20 different hellos.
and you nailed it.
Yeah, and I got called like a week later. And I went down, and it was supposed to be one day. And I say this because it's true. It was supposed to be one day. And I got union scale for one shooting day to be on The Sopranos. And I did some stuff. I did some improv, like I took the bar towel and threw it over my shoulder And the director was going, yeah, that's good. Do that. Look like clean up around, do stuff, move stuff around.
Yeah.
And I said,
You were acting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so then I was balancing things on my nose, which I can do. If I had something to show you guys, I could balance like a pencil on my nose.
Well, you've got your cane.
And I know I could probably do it here, but I can't see. So I was doing all this stuff,
got a seal,
making people laugh. You know what I mean? I was goofing around with the other barmaids and stuff. And so anyway, at the end of the day, David Chase came into the makeup room and said to the guy, to the woman, take pictures of his tattoos. And the girl goes, take pictures? And he said, yes, take pictures of it. Because I had these huge tattoos. It took like 5 hours to put them on.
Yeah.
And so I had these tattoos on, and when I was done shooting, he said, take pictures of them, because they're very intricate, and they have to be the same way every time. And so when he left the room, she said, this is huge. I said, what do you mean? She goes, that means you're coming back.
Oh.
And I said, oh, my God. And
Awesome.
I said, really? She said, yeah, if they're taking pictures, that means they want to make sure, in case you do come back, that the tattoos look the same.
Continuity.
Exactly.
Awesome.
It's called the continuity person. Absolutely. And so they took pictures of my tattoos that day. She said, this means you're coming back. And I did. And I came back for 13 more episodes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a great feather in your cap, and what a great experience.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Any standout, like working with Gandolfini or
like
Steven
every time,
or any of those guys that kind of stuck out?
Every time I worked with James Gandolfini, it was very, very intimate and not a lot of people around. And he was not chatty.
Yeah.
There was no chatting with him.
Yeah.
He was always with his script, because he's in every scene.
Yeah.
In the whole damn show.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like I could go up to him and say, hey, I'm a comic. I got a joke for you.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to happen. And so, but it was very intimate. It was very close.
Yeah.
Close proximity to him. And he would, when he was going to hit me with the phone, they actually had a real phone there that was made of rubber, and he was going to hit me with it. And I said, just do it. And he goes, no, I can't hit you with it because it'll really hurt. And I said, don't worry about it. Just do it. Do it a couple times, And I went like
Jesus,
this.
Frank.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it. So they built like a tripod to stand up with my face, like this close. And he hit this tripod. Like boom, boom. It made big noise like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
And he did that about 10 takes, and then it broke in half. The piece broke in half, and he goes, well, that's the end of that. Like, we can't do this anymore. Yeah, it was great.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, did that all film in Jersey?
Yeah, my scenes were at the place called the Satin Dolls in Lodi, New Jersey.
I guess I've heard
which
that.
is a real strip club. The guy that owned the place must have thought he died and went to heaven, because it was a seedy motel a seedy strip club in Lodi, New Jersey, that turned into a world famous strip club. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it said at the top of it, home of Tony Soprano's Bada Bing, so people would come from miles around just to drive by it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, going in there was a foyer, and it had just been built when I walked in, like 2 years after the show was on the air. The foyer got tripled in size. You could buy G-strings. Like, I got the Bada Bing, all kinds of funny sayings and strip clubs and G-strings and bras and underwear and all kinds of stuff, memorabilia from the Bada Bing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I never even thought of that. Instead, I went and I was telling everybody I got pork at Satrial's.
There you go.
That was
that was a real
those non-Soprano
place.
people. That was Satrial's pork store. That also became a famous tourist
That
spot.
was a real place.
Yeah.
And it was going to be torn down and somehow the Sopranos found out about it and stopped the raising of the building. They were literally going to tear it down the week that David Chase and his boys signed to take it, and use it.
Well, David Chase...
And they never even took the sign down. That was the real name of the place.
David Chase must have been brilliant because I think there were a lot of questions about that series and what it was about and how it was going to go.
Right.
Because it was such a departure from like the typical Godfather, dark mob scenes, but really accurate.
Sure.
My understanding of the current kind of New Jersey mob, which was these just North Jersey Guido.
Absolutely.
They're just like that, like Paulie Walnuts and all those guys. And
yeah.
I always thought some of the best scenes were those scenes like outside Satrials and
Absolutely.
your scenes in the Bada Bing.
I know.
Because it just really captured, we have family and in-laws in North Jersey and Italian, so we're really well versed in everything you see there is pretty accurate culturally. Yeah. So the other thing, Frank, I want to talk to you about, because I've been on hiatus from stand-up comedy. You keep looking at those guys in the control room.
It's like they're like a mirage.
I say, I apologize. Like the camera's over here, and Frank's a little bit like a golden lab. Like he sees me pretending to throw the stick. He's always looking for the stick that I didn't actually throw. So I've been on hiatus.
Yeah.
And actually, I went on hiatus from comedy because my daughter, who's now 18, at the time she was maybe 12 or 13, and I kind of came to the conclusion that I need to be a little bit more available Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights to navigate my daughter through this America in the 21st century, which, as you know, is a minefield of cultural problems. So, but speaking about comedy, one thing, I always liked your material. I thought you were very unique. I'm not just blowing smoke, but smart and a subdued act. You were kind of like Kevin Nealon versus Dana Carvey, not the maniacal crazy act, but introspective stuff, which I liked. But I also wanted to talk to you about the way the world is now, because when I stopped doing it, it was just about when Trump was elected, and everything started getting frosty. Like the comedy rooms, if you did anything near political, you were really like going near the third rail. And I look back, and you and I are the same age as we were just talking about. I grew up like watching the Celebrity Roast with Dean Martin with my dad, and absolutely. I wonder how would a Don Rickles survive in today's comedy climate?
I don't know. That's a good question.
And Rickles was not a racist. Like those guys all loved each other, and as brutal as Rickles always was, like he was kind of I use him as an example because he was so outward about.
Oh, I know.
I mean, working the crowd, if you were Asian, if you any ethnic blow. But there was this unspoken love or like code of honor. I'm not even sure exactly what you'd call it. That
a camaraderie, right?
But that's kind of gone
absolutely.
now, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's gone.
And I think we're all worse off for it, aren't we?
Absolutely. Every man for himself now, right? Woody Allen used to talk about how him and Robert Klein and people like that would help each other out. They would hear a joke and say, try it this way, or he'll try it with this word, or something like that. You know what I mean? Those days are gone.
Well, and like the Dean Martin roast,
oh my gosh.
They'd have Flip Wilson, they'd have just every ethnicity and everything, and women.
And TV clean.
And TV clean. But it was all fair game. I mean, the jokes would be, like, by today's standards, you'd get pulled off the air. You wouldn't get 20 seconds into that show today. Never mind Dean Martin drinking half-lit, smoking cigarettes on stage. But again, I look back on it and I go, yeah, there were things like maybe the cigarette smoking we shouldn't have been promoting. Okay. But I do think we've lost something that we can't joke with each other anymore.
No.
About anything.
Right.
It's kind of nuts.
I know.
Like I always joke, like I drive around, I don't know about you down there, but up here, they got all these lawn signs now. Like everyone has a position. And one of my favorite is the hate has no home here sign, which I always tells me that's exactly where hate lives. But I'm thinking of doing a sign that's called hate has no home here, but we will consider short-term rentals. Is that too much for a yard sign?
I like it. I like it.
Just throwing it out there, and then there's all the. So I think you were talking before we went on about your eating disorder from growing up with an Italian mother.
Absolutely.
And I grew up obviously with an Italian mother, but I also spent a lot of time with my grandmother when I was young. And I used to do a joke when I was doing comedy about when I was 7 or 8 years old, I would complain about the homemade bread. Like all my friends have Wonder Bread and the homemade pasta. I go like, all my friends have Chef Boyardee. And it's like, oh my God, a rabbit? Grampy shot a rabbit? And then I said, like when I was 21, I realized I had been eating in a 5-star Italian restaurant my whole life.
Sure.
And never knew it.
Exactly.
But the food thing is such a big part of the culture, right? And again, going back to those throwback days, it's like an important thing. Sunday dinner, family, that was non-negotiable.
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, Chef Boyardee.
You just said Chef Boyardee.
I'm surprised my grandmother didn't kill me with a wooden spoon.
Do you know that he was sick and tired of people mispronouncing his name? So that's why it's spelled like the way it is on the can. It's phonetic, exactly the way you say it.
I hate to even admit this, that I know that.
Isn't
because
that funny?
I watched that dopey Food That Built America show, and they did a whole thing on Boyardee.
Absolutely.
Is that where you got that information?
Exactly. No, I kind of knew it before that.
You did?
But it is common knowledge now.
Yeah.
That happened to him.
Yeah.
He just got sick and tired of people mispronouncing his name. Boyardee. Boyardee.
Yeah.
My name is Boyardee. Boyrdii. Boyardee. Sorry.
After all that, they ended up selling his shit pasta in a can with these
I used to love that stuff too,
tiny
man.
meatballs.
Are you kidding me? How does my heart not stop?
Tiny,
How does my heart not stop? Just from Chef Boyardee.
Tiny meatballs.
Meatballs in a can. Come on.
Meatballs the size of
It can't be
testicles.
good.
Wouldn't even have been allowed.
My friend of mine would say that. He'd go, are you kidding me? A McDonald's, what is it? McRib sandwich? You know, he goes, you know what's it? He goes, let me tell you something. There's cow scrotums in those things. Cow scrotums. That's the funniest thing ever. There's my phone again. I'm really
you know
sorry.
what? Go ahead and
It's my other daughter.
I think this is part of the organic thing that we're doing here.
I'm calling John Fiore from The Sopranos.
Oh.
He's the guy that died on the toilet. You want to talk to him?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Johnny.
What's up, buddy?
I'm on the air right now.
Hey, Johnny, it is you. How you doing?
What's going on?
Nothing.
It's Carl.
I'm here with Frank. We were just talking Sopranos, and the phone rang, and he said, this is the guy who died on the toilet. Do you want to talk to him?
So
and of
you're
course,
on.
Who says no to that?
It's John Fiore, ladies and gentlemen. The guy that died on the toilet on The Sopranos.
Mitch, do you want to come in? You might as well come in and say hi to John Fiore. Let's just,
Mitch, come on in,
This
Mitch.
show has gone so far off the rails now.
We're off the rails.
My son
we are
Mitchell
off
is
the
here
rails.
to meet Frank.
This is a live podcast.
Mitch,
What's
say
up,
hello
dude?
to...
This is the guy that died on the toilet. His name is John Fiore.
Yeah.
This is his son.
Mitchell. Yeah.
Mitchell.
And Mike Clark, the
Mike
producer
Clark.
here. We're actually not supposed to give his name out. Yeah.
Just the way to go.
But anyway, we're on the air and we got to go.
Hold on a minute. Hold
Oh,
on.
wait a minute. He wants to
Hold
talk
on
to
a
me.
minute. You were in a whole bunch of scenes. Why the fuck does Frank have to introduce you as the guy who died on the toilet?
Isn't that disgraceful? If I was over there, I'd start a fight.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll do it. The truth
What do you mean? That's what happened. He
the
died on the
truth
toilet.
is, he hurt his knee last night sleeping.
The guy that died on the toilet. That's a nice intro, huh?
But that's the truth. Well, you don't like the truth?
What about the good parts? What about the other stuff?
I know all the other scenes you were in.
Iconic.
You know what? I'll get your contact info. I'll have you do the show with me, and we can talk about Frank.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Mana called me. Frank, Mana called me. I got to talk to you about it.
Oh, man, for real. No shit.
Wow,
All right.
that's-
Okay, buddy.
This
I'll
sounds
talk to
big.
you.
Guido event.
All right. All right. All right. I'll see you. Oh, wow.
So welcome back to the Karl Zahn Show with the
Karl
extra-
Zahn Show. Frank Santorelli is on the Karl Zahn Show.
It's incredible. I mean, Sopranos, and now you have this.
We're breaking the bank.
Now you have this feather in your cap.
Can
It's kind of unbelievable.
Can I
Frank.
get a sandwich? Do you guys have sandwiches ready-made? Sandwiches?
Tremendous show here. We
Yeah,
just
it's a
had,
great
we
show.
just had
Tremendous show here.
the toilet
Right
fatality.
here
He actually
on our show.
died. For those of you who didn't watch The Sopranos,
I didn't die.
What's the actor's name again?
What?
That we just
Oh,
talked
that
about?
was John Fiore. He played Gigi Sestone.
Right. He had a bunch of great scenes.
He was- no,
and
no,
you
he
gotta
was in
talk
an-
about
so
when
wait a minute, he was in an
died
toilet-
grunting on the toilet.
He died. He was in an
constipated,
entire
Frank.
story arc where, from beginning to end, he dies at the end, and it was his kind of rise to power.
This is fantastic. Just take the
It's
fucking
bogus.
call, Frank.
It's bogus.
What is it? Spam?
From my next show,
Oh.
he probably wants to know where I am.
Oh, it's bogus. Yeah, forget
It's
it.
bogus.
Yeah.
It's bogus. It's bogus.
Yeah, Greg, we don't.
His name
need-
is Bogus. We call him Bogus.
Greg Bogus. Yeah,
Bogus.
we don't need him interrupting the
No.
show. Yeah, so going back to the Italian youth and all that.
Yeah.
I also remember like the family dinners in Mass. So we had relatives in Mass. And tell me if it was this way with you. You said you grew up in Cleveland. I got a son that lives in Cincinnati, actually. They had the regular kitchen upstairs, and then in the basement was the industrial, no screwing around, people coming over kitchen. Did you have that? Where they did the industrial military
Make the pastas.
Yes.
The little pastas all over the
Yes.
place, all over the kitchen, all over the shelves like this, right?
Yeah.
All over the place, drying pasta out.
Yeah. Fresh
Yeah.
pasta.
Fresh
Yeah,
pasta.
I know.
Absolutely.
I mean, does anyone do that? Does
I don't know.
anyone grow up like that anymore?
I don't know. My mother, my sister's husband's father used to crush grapes with his feet in a well and make wine.
Yeah, my grandfather did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crush grapes with his feet.
Yeah.
My father used to
real
set
deal.
pins in a bowling alley.
Set pins in a
bowling alley.
manually.
This was before the automated bowling alleys. There was actually kids back there retaking the thing out, put the rack in, put the pins in like that. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Well, that's when immigrants came here to work.
Sure.
Yeah. It was a little
Sure.
different. It was a
Absolutely.
little different time.
All right.
Yeah. Hey,
Absolutely.
what do you think about this Transgender Visibility Day falling on Easter? Where are you with that, Frank? Try to keep it family friendly. I'm not trying to be cruel because my position.
They want to do it on Easter Sunday?
Yeah, that was kind of my thing.
I don't know.
Maybe a step
I don't
too far.
care. If they want to do it, I don't doesn't
You don't
bother
care?
me. I mean,
Here's how I've always been: is I don't care who you love if you're an adult, just leave the kids out of it. That's always been my very premise with all this
Easter
weird
Sunday,
stuff.
one of the highest days on the Catholic calendar.
Yeah.
Celebrating the rebirth of the crucified Christ. And what better way to do that than to eat a chocolate bunny?
I couldn't.
What better way to eat that than some jelly beans?
I can't. I certainly can't take any issue with
Celebrating the rebirth of the crucified Christ by eating jelly beans.
that. You know what?
I like the red ones.
You have opened my eyes to something that perhaps we decimated Easter long
my
before
God,
Transgender Visibility
Easter Sunday
Day.
was the best when I was a kid.
Easter Sunday.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
That was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grandmother's house, everybody all dressed up from Sunday,
Yeah.
going to church.
Yeah.
My grandfather, in his robe and pajamas and slippers, never got dressed during the day. Never got dressed. Just walking around, smoking Lucky Strikes like this, like pot. His fingers were orange because of the cigarette.
That's how my grandfather was.
And he'd be
too.
like,
Yeah.
and he was snubbing them out like this. Oh man, hilarious.
Those
Right.
were the days.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it seems
And he wanted
funny.
to watch golf. He never played the sport, but he liked to watch golf.
And by the way, when I say those were the days, I don't mean specifically the Lucky Strikes and the orange fingers. I'm just talking about the whole kind of ball of wax, right? Yeah. It's a crazy world that we're living here. I have to ask you,
Sure.
you got big plans for the solar eclipse, Frank?
You
'Cause
know,
this is big
I
news
don't
all over the
have
country.
plans for
what
the
is
eclipse.
going on?
We're going to
The
drop
people have to
15
travel
degrees.
to the
It's going to be
eclipse
like
belt.
shutting the shades closed for 15 minutes. Mecha, mecha, l'chaim, mezuzah. And the world will end. We'll all be toast.
I just want to make sure, too, that you understand you can't look at the sun without
Don't
this,
look at it. Don't look at it.
without the special glasses.
Look at
right?
this eclipse, but don't look at it. What is wrong with you? You looked at it. You're going to go blind.
But it just strikes me as I get it because it's
Yeah, I
interesting.
know.
And I'm actually,
Kids are
interested
taking
in
off
it
of
too,
school. They're taking a day off of school for
Yeah,
this.
I don't know that I would travel halfway across the country.
I don't think so.
for like a minute and a half with special glasses staring at the sky somewhere.
I know.
And on top of that, I just read this morning.
Yeah, no, I'm not going. I'm
look
not
at
going
this.
to the
I'm actually-
eclipse.
I'm
I'm not
actually-
going to the eclipse.
I'm not going.
I'm not going.
Yeah.
Everyone's going. I'm not going.
Do you see this, Frank? I'm actually getting blood on my show
Oh
notes here.
man, look at you!
I
You're
just
like
can't
a
think of
stuck
a more
pig over
fitting-
there. Can we get some first aid?
I
for
can't
this
think of
guy?
a more
He's
fitting.
bleeding over here.
This may be
Over
the best
here.
show I've done yet. Got Georgie the Bartender from the Sopranos.
camera.
I'm bleeding. There's actually blood on set. Frank's got a cane.
I got a cane
We
that
had
you can
what's
see
his
from
name
outer
there?
space.
The toilet
you can see it from outer space. What is the time limit?
And the other thing I wanted to ask you about, because I'm sure you're affected by this as well as the eclipse. I don't know if you heard this, but the polar vortex suddenly started spinning backwards yesterday. Are you sure you still want to go do a comedy show tonight?
I know. No, I understand that question completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're spinning, the vortex is spinning the other way now? The Earth, you mean?
Yeah. Well, not the Earth. It's the polar vortex. It's some big thing in the Arctic that like kind of controls all the weather. So they're saying it's going to. I'm just wondering if this, coupled with the eclipse, coupled with John calling in halfway through the show, the guy who died, it just seems like there's an alignment of like bad omens here, Frank.
Hope not. I hope the people will be nice at the show.
You know, Italians, we have
It's sold out.
A lot of superstitions.
I'm at the Elks. I play only the best places in Nashua.
So
The Elks. There'll be a dead elk like this. There'll be a dead elk in the wall like this.
You sold
See
out.
the Elks.
You sold out the
Elks.
Nashua Elks.
I sold out the Nashua, 90 seats. Are you kidding me? I got more people in my backyard right now.
You and Kathy Griffin, man, killing it, crushing it in the later years.
Brutal.
How long are you going to do it, Frank? How long are you going to
Oh, I don't know. Not too much longer, I don't think. You know, maybe another 4 or 5 years, I think, you know, but I'm tired. Like right now, I should be in bed. I'm 66 years old. I have no business even being out.
I literally had to help him off the couch, folks, to do the show.
my cane,
I'm not even
my
I'm not
cane.
even joking. I bled on him. It's so we've kind of gone from the greatest generation to the greatest generation.
Oh my God.
And one thing, Frank, if you do retire early from comedy, the one good thing now is you don't need to buy property anymore. We got this squatter thing going on, which is like the ultimate in subprime real estate. Just find a vacant place and move in, right? Okay. And I mean, you got a cane, so
I go right to the head.
yeah. I mean, no one could throw you out. Guy with a pink cane, pink handled.
And I was Georgie. I was Georgie on The Sopranos. Does that get anything? Do I get anything for that?
Your pink
Can
handled.
I get a free sandwich?
Your pink handled
Can I get a
golden lab
sandwich?
penis cane. I feel like I've exhausted you already.
I'm fine, man. Let's
Are you?
keep going.
Yeah, you
you
want to
guys
do a
want
little bit more? What's on your mind? Because I'm kind of taking the whole floor here.
I feel like I'm at a place in my life where it's really cool because I'm falling apart physically, but mentally I'm sharper than ever.
That's such a great combo, isn't it?
It really is. It's like, you know what? I'm sort of happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And the thing, yeah. And I
Look at
hope,
this, look at this.
good. It's another call.
Oh, man,
from,
so sorry.
Is it Bogus?
Greg Bogus. Yo.
It is. It's Greg Bogus. comedy booker.
No, I'm on the show right now.
Calling right in the middle of...
I'll call you back. I'll get back.
Calling right in the middle of this... what is that, 5 phone calls?
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah. Well, your daughter...
No, I don't hear from anybody all night long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Your daughter, I understand. You were in the parking lot on the phone for 2 hours before. I don't know what you're doing out there. If you're
You don't know what I was doing out there?
I know I'm not supposed to.
I don't know what you're doing out there.
The last thing I want to do is know too much, Frank, especially with you. So what else? What's on your mind before we wrap up here and you get down to...
I got nothing,
I
man.
want to make sure you
I'm
get a
doing a
parking
show
spot
tonight.
at the Elks.
I still like doing comedy. You know, I really
Yeah.
like making people laugh, and I like going all over the different places. I don't like to travel anymore. I'm done. People are too crazy on the roads. People want to run you down. And so I'm not too keen
It's a labor of love. You know, I had Joey Carroll in last episode.
Oh, he called me today. I got to call him.
Yeah, Joey's a good guy. And I was telling him, you know, like, I really miss it. There's nothing like live stand-up comedy. There just is nothing like it, period, hands down.
Right.
And I have the same thing. Like, I kind of like to go back to it, but I got tired of the traveling, too.
Right.
Even just like around New England.
Right.
You know? It's a long
You know what
night.
I like about Joey Carroll? Coked up out of his mind.
Is he? Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yeah. He was...
Coked up out of his mind.
I know. I mean, I told you, I had him in last week. He wanted to do a line off my
Imagine me
ass.
saying that on the air about somebody.
Yeah.
He's going to call me
Joey
up.
wanted
What the
to-
hell's the matter with
Joey
you?
wanted to start
Why would you say that about me?
I said,
I was kidding
absolutely
around.
not.
Yeah, but the people don't know it. They're watching a TV program.
Right. Exactly. Well, maybe you can have a talk.
It's like
with
one
him.
time, a friend of mine who owns a garage to fix your car. He's in the front row. And I go, hey, how about a hand for Phil at Phil's Garage? He's one of the most honest guys. He takes the parts out, he puts them out, he lays them out on the floor and shows you what he's going to do to your car. The problem is he steals shit out of your glove compartment. Shows over, he goes, why'd you say that? I go, I was kidding around. He goes, yeah, but people don't know that. They think you're going to steal shit out of the glove compartment. They're going to steal shit out. He was so mad. I go, dude, it was a joke. You're a great mechanic. You're very honest. You put all the things up, but you steal shit out of the glove compartment, and he's all mad. I go, look, they know it was a joke. That's all.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe. Yeah. I was talking to Joey about the same thing. That you or him or a bunch of us could write a book about the backstory of comedy, New England, and all that. It's like, because that's the craziest part, right? Is the comics, the green room, waiting to go on, all these, you know, not that there's anything wrong with you.
Sure.
But generally, comics a little off.
Most of them are off.
Unstable.
Unstable.
Not you. I want to make that clear. Did I mention that? I think I did twice. Right. Hey, Frank. Great to see you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for taking all your phone calls right in the middle of the podcast. I like a guy who never turns down business. And now, just to wrap up, he's got the Sopranos, and he was in episode 7 of the Karl Zahn Show. I heard a bell. Keep the blue side up.